On April Fool's 1873, a 420-foot White Star liner carrying almost 1,000 people crashed into the rocky shoreline off Lower Prospect, killing some 560 people, including all women and children except one boy.
New light is being shed on the scale of the disaster that was the SS Atlantic in a documentary premiering at this year's Atlantic Film Festival. All women and children aboard were killed, aside from one boy and about 400 men who survived due to the rescue efforts of poor fisherfolk from Prospect. Filmmaker Chris Devaney is from Prospect and says he used to hear ghost stories growing up, which always fascinated him. He says the story is a piece of Canadian history that somehow got lost.
This happened on April Fool's 1873, and the people of Prospect just went through what they call Long Hungry March, where all their food rations were depleted, and they gave food, clothing, shelter, bandaged the wounds of all these injured people, and really they had nothing to give but gave everything.
The ship had encountered a storm on the way over from Ireland and burned more coal than usual, so the captain diverted to Halifax. Westerly currents and winds then knocked it off course about 15 kilometers.
If it hadn't been for the people in the villages to take care of them and bring them to their homes, they would have frozen to death on the rocks. Sub-zero temperatures in the water. It was rough, wet. They were soaking, wringing wet. And the few survivors that did get to the rocks, they would have just froze there during the day.
Some 560 people had to be buried following the wreck, and there are 2 mass graves in the area.
The story got lost over the years, and one of the things that I wanted to do is give the story back to the residents of Prospect so they can know what their ancestors did.